Oh, if I'm looking this way, my laptop is this way and all my things are in it. Okay, let's go. Sickle cell anemia is a type of anemia, which is a condition in which your blood has a lower than normal number of red blood cells. Red blood cells are made in the spongy marrow inside the larger bones of the body, and are important because they carry oxygen and remove carbon dioxide from your body. Here's a picture of a healthy red blood cell being made in the femur, which is one of your arm bones. It's a funny bone. It's this one. I think it's this one. Femur, funny bone, yes? I don't know. They live about 120 days in the bloodstream and then die, after which the bone marrow makes more to replace the dead ones. Sickle cell anemia is caused by an abnormal type of hemoglobin, a protein inside a red blood cell that carries oxygen, called hemoglobin S. In sickle cell anemia, the infected red blood cells die at around 10 to 20 days, and at that rate the bone marrow can't reproduce enough to replace the dead ones. Here's a picture of a healthy red blood cell that looks like a donut, and a sickled red blood cell which looks like the moon, kind of, when it's a crescent. Yes? It's an inherited lifelong disease, and to have it you have to inherit 2 genes for sickle hemoglobin, one from each parent. If you have a sickle hemoglobin gene from one parent and a normal gene from the other parent, then you have what is called sickle cell trait, which is different from the disease itself in that you only have the trait for it, which means that you won't have the disease, but you have the ability to pass it on to your children. Kind of like a messed up superpower. Here is a drawing of regular red blood cells flowing through your bloodstream, you know, your arteries and stuff. Everything's going smoothly, but it would look like if you have sickle cell anemia. Like, look at this, all the red blood cells are clotting around, and right here they're starting to clot and block blood flow, which means that, you know, you'll be really, really pale and stuff because you're not getting enough red. Drop page. Symptoms don't usually show up until you're about 4 months old, and almost everybody who has sickle cell anemia have painful episodes called crises, and they can last from a couple of hours to a couple of days. They cause pain in the lower back, the chest, the joints, yes, and the legs. Where's the leg? When your anemia worsens, some symptoms can include fatigue, paleness from all that blockage in your arteries, rapid heart rate, shortness of breath, and yellowing of the eyes and skin, also known as jaundice. Younger kids with sickle cell anemia have attacks of abdominal pain, and they may suffer from poor eyesight or blindness, problems with thinking or confusion, small strokes, and ulcers on the lower leg. As they get older, their spleen stops working, resulting in bone infections or osteomyelitis, gallbladder infection, cholecystitis, and lung infection, pneumonia, and urinary tract infection. Sickle cell anemia can be diagnosed through a simple blood test at any time during a person's life, although an early diagnosis is very important. In the US, all states are required to test for sickle cell anemia as part of newborn screening program. Doctors can also diagnose for sickle cell about 10 weeks into the pregnancy, which looks for the sickle hemoglobin gene, and not the abnormal hemoglobin which that gene makes. There are currently no cures for sickle cell anemia, and the line between life and death really depends on how early one is diagnosed and treated. And the goal of treatment is to actually reduce the number of crises and to manage and control your symptoms, if you have any, which you probably will. People with this disease should take folic acid supplements, as folic acid helps produce more red blood cells. Other treatments include blood transfusion, pain medication, plenty of fluids, as well as antibiotics. There are bone marrow and stem cell transplants available, but those aren't an option for most people, as those with sickle cell anemia are hard to find matches for, as it is a genetic disease. I am using books as tripods, okay? I'm sorry I don't have any real tripods. I'm sorry. Which is terrible because of the things I just said. I tried. All you